So I get this video sent to me from a client of mine, and he asks me to take a look at his form and review it if I don't mind. So let's take a look here. We'll let it roll. We'll zoom in on a couple of key points. See if you guys can see this. That's enough. All right, this is what I see. I see a extremely strong man who is deadlifting 225 like it's nothing. And I think to myself, geez, how much weight this guy could be deadlifting if he actually did the exercise properly is amazing. And I mean that with all due respect in a nice way. So I'll just jump right into it. First thing that I see is that he's really treating this as a lower back exercise. And you can see that he's not hinging at the hips at all. He's basically just leaning forward. He's got this huge round in his back here. Okay, and then like basically one vertebrae at a time, he's stacking them up until he's all the way at the top. Okay, what you can also see, and I'm going to stop here right as the bar is almost on the ground because we could probably see a maximal load, especially a decelerative load on the feet here, and maybe you're one step ahead of me. But what I see here with these whack-ass shoes, all right, is the ankles are falling apart. Probably he doesn't have much of an arch in his feet, probably because he's so dependent on bracing the structures of his foot and his ankle. But again, it's like, yeah, his form isn't great, but man, is this guy strong. So what I would suggest that he do is shit can the shoes. That's always going to be my first thing. Secondly, you can see as he gets closer to the end, he starts getting tired. Right, so if you look at the first rep, he stands up, feels like he locks it out right there. And then if we scroll to the last rep, you can see it from the back. He's hunched over a little bit because all of those muscles in his lower back are starting to feel real tired right about now. He can't even go in full extension. So shit can the shoes. Might take a little bit of getting used to with that, but otherwise, I would recommend neutral spine all the way. You can see it here, okay? When he's in the down, his chin is up. I can tell you here that his lumbar spine is his cervical spine is a wicked curve in it, and then the back, all of the structures underneath the back adjust. So he should act as though he's holding an apple underneath his chin. Keep his chin tucked and his spine neutral from the top of his head all the way down to his tailbone. And what that means is at the top of the movement, locking this form in, going to require a little bit of engagement from the lats to help stabilize all of those vertebrae with a chest up proud. And then when he begins the movement, I don't need to really see it from the side, I can tell already, when he begins the movement, begins it with pushing the hips back as opposed to leaning that bar down. He should feel a stretch in his hamstrings from the movement he begins lowering his chest down towards the ground. And then all the way down to the ground and all the way back up. But he's lacking that stretch in his hamstrings because this is really a lower back exercise, lower back dependent exercise for him. And his weak, relatively weak lats aren't really doing much to help hold that back form in. This guy would be a dream to coach because he's already so freaking strong. He could probably rep out, I don't know, another 130, 150 pounds very much the same way. If only he were relying on the powerhouse of his body to lift that weight, that being the glutes and the hamstrings, as opposed to these guys, which are the counterparts to rectus abdominis and these guys. I mean, imagine if he was not depending on the weakest link in order to lift this weight, but instead relying on the strongest part of that movement chain. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I hope you show him this video because this guy is a monster. He's a specimen. He's got a tremendous amount of inherent strength. It's just a shame that he's not focusing on the right movement. Yeah, it's all straight down and straight up. I can see it in his reflection in the mirror. Anyway, beast. I wish him luck. Thanks, man.